Hey everybody, I'm Elizabeth and you're watching Trans Love. Thank you guys for being here with us today. We had a really fantastic week last week. It was nice to get to know everybody's partners and see how you guys interact with each other and just get to know you a little better. So this week we are going to be talking about the top 5 things that you feel are important to know when being in a relationship with somebody who identifies as trans. And as Carrie had said yesterday, these are my personal top 5. It is not the same for everybody. Everybody is going to feel slightly different or vastly different about this. So these are my personal top 5 things that I wish I had known before going into a relationship with somebody who's trans identified. So I have a list over here. So number 1, I have put be patient with yourself and your partner. Patience goes a long way. You're not going to get anywhere if you don't have any patience. Things like, I don't know, binder, no binder, or does this shirt make me look flat, or oh my god, I think I have, a chin hair coming in, can you look at it? These things can get a little draining sometimes, but you have to remember that your partner is incredibly excited about these things, and we should be celebrating these things with them. And I think a big thing for me was to be patient with myself. I had such a hard time with Aiden being trans identified. When I finally was okay with everything, I had so much remorse and so much guilt about what I put him through. I became very frustrated with myself and very ashamed. So one thing that Aiden has taught me is that you need to be patient with yourself. So that's been a big one. Number 2, I have that communication is key. I can tell you that before Aiden had come out as being trans, we talked nothing about trans things. It is now all trans all the time at our house, and I'm usually leading the discussion. So, I think this rule does go for every couple and every relationship, regardless of how either party identifies. But certainly with trans people, it's hard. You are constantly in this crazy journey and evolution and finding out who you really are. So you have to talk things out. When you don't talk things out, things come to a screeching halt and your relationship stalls, and it really sucks. So certainly make sure that you keep communication as a number 1 priority in your relationship. Number 3, that one was a hard one. This was a hard one for me. So I truly felt like his gender changed my identity, and that is not true for everybody. Sorry, my dog's barking in the background. Frankenstein, who you met last week, is barking in the background. So his gender certainly does not have to change your identity. I truly felt that him being identified as trans would take my lesbian identity away. And while I don't necessarily identify as being a lesbian anymore, I don't feel that he took that away from me. I feel like that was the decision that I came to on my own, and one that I'm very proud of, to say that I'm a queer person. But certainly don't feel like his trans status has to take away whatever you identify as, because it doesn't. I feel that at the end of the day, when you go home to the person that you love, that's all that matters. And who cares what you identify as at that point? As long as you know that you are with somebody that loves you, that's all that matters. So number 4, I feel like we should enjoy the perks of being in a relationship with somebody that's trans. I find it oddly, it's just oddly satisfying when I know that 2 queer people are taking back the rights that that heterosexual people took away from us. That about sounded really bad, and I didn't mean that. So yeah, I feel like holding hands in public as 2 queer people is phenomenal. I think it's a huge perk that we all should take advantage of, whether we identify as gay or lesbian or bi or whatever. But certainly being in a relationship with a trans man, I am a little freer to walk down the street and have Aiden put his arm around me or kiss me on the cheek or something, and I don't really get those double looks. So yeah, that is a really, really nice thing that I think people who are in kind of traditional straight relationships in take advantage of. So definitely take advantage of that in your trans relationship. I think that it's good to show little displays of affection, but not overly. But if you're certainly at a point where you are safe and you feel like you can, I don't know, certainly show a little love to each other. So number 5, lastly, is change is necessary when you're in a relationship with a trans person, and it is okay. So from the very beginning, I feared about all the changes that would take place. Physical, mental, like with my family, my friends, my coworkers, I worried about that change. And that change has not been horrible. I know it's not the same for everybody, but I certainly have had a phenomenal experience with change. I have enjoyed watching Aiden change. I have, I don't know, really been excited about it. And it's just relieving to know that he's finally getting to a place where he's comfortable. So celebrate the changes, as Carrie had said. It is fantastic to watch somebody be alive in their own skin finally and be happy. So certainly be prepared for change. I think that is it for my top 5. Again, these are just my personal top 5s. It's not the same for everybody. And I don't know. Any comments, questions, just let me know, and I will certainly respond. Thanks. I'll see you next week.